gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Armed carjacking in Miami Gardens ends in Miramar, and officials are now looking for several suspects after an Uber driver was attacked. NBC6's Julia Bagg live at the 7-Eleven.
She called.
Where this whole thing started, Julia.
Roxy, some tense moments crisscrossing the county line this morning. This is indeed where it began, but take a look at where things ended up.
Dramatic video from Chopper 6 showing officers with guns drawn, pointing at a white Toyota Corolla. They moved in careful formation around the car this morning on Southwest 24th Street, just west of Highway 441 in Miramar.
And shout out to these officers for taking down these super carjacking gremlins on demon time. All right, like it's getting rough out here. I mean, Uber drivers getting jacked, and you have to have an account. You got to connect some type of, debit card, Cash App card to the Uber account. I mean, they getting bold out here.
It turns out no one was inside the Corolla as officers approached. Police say the car was abandoned. The trouble began just south of the county line in Miami-Dade at a 7-Eleven on Northwest 199th Street and Highway 441. That's where at about 4:10 a.m., investigators say multiple people carjacked an Uber driver, hitting and forcing the driver out of the car. The news surprised this woman who said she comes here often. She said, "You never know what may happen."
That's true. These gas stations are not safe. We've seen it in Atlanta. We've seen it everywhere. We've seen it everywhere, y'all. They are stalking at the gas stations. Got to be careful.
Chopper 6 shows officers spotlighting a gun on the pavement at County Line Road near Southwest 68th Lane in Miami Gardens, not far from where officers located the abandoned car in Miramar.
I think it's pretty awful what happened, especially because there was a gun involved and someone's life was at risk and your possession got stolen.
And police are still trying to track down those carjackers. If you know anything, you can help detectives by calling Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers. That number is 305-471-TIPS. Live in Miami Gardens, Julia Bagg, NBC6 News.
Now to the developing story in Hollywood. A man is dead after an hours-long standoff with police. CBS 4's Deborah Suverin has been near the scene all morning long. She joins us now with the update. Deborah.
She called.
Candace, we just got an update from the Broward County Sheriff's Office. They tell us that an officer was forced to fire at the man who barricaded himself inside of the home here.
Wow, we got another officer involved shooting, and this one is wild. Obviously, they're gonna say it's mental illness, all this stuff, and I'm not saying that it's not mental illness, but I mean, damn, how many people are they gonna say it's mental illness?
Now, we just learned this morning that that man died after this incident.
And all of a sudden we hear some bangs. We saw a couple little fires break out, and all of a sudden we see them shooting water at the house. Next thing you know, the flames just start building and building and building.
Here you can see the members of the Hollywood SWAT team throwing a flash grenade into the home and then carefully moving towards the front door to get the man who barricaded himself inside out. This all happening while a portion of the home was on fire.
Wow. He had it out with the cops. He was refusing to leave. He barricaded himself in the house.
What is this? Is this a man or a woman? This is a they, them? What's going on here?
They communicated throughout the whole time. He started throwing Molotov cocktails at him to get him off the property.
She lives across from the home where the more
that's a man, y'all. No way that's a woman.
More than 14-hour standoff took place, and she says police told neighbors the man set fire to a portion of the home during the standoff.
So he is in a standoff with police and torches the house. That don't make no sense. Maybe he thought he was creating a distraction. Ah, man, these dudes are whacked out.
Started the fire from the inside, from what we understand. And I guess because he was in there so long, they could only control the fire from the outside. They couldn't get in and stop it.
Wow.
According to BSO, this began yesterday when officers tried to follow up on an investigation and attempted to make contact with the man. Investigators say he refused to leave the home and then threatened to hurt himself and others. People living along the 2700 block of Dewey Street in Hollywood were forced out of their homes overnight while negotiators worked to end the standoff.
I'm sitting here since 4 p.m., sleeping in a yard, and I'm a little tired, I'm a little worn out.
Many wondering why this all happened in the first place.
And it started around 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning on Wednesday. He was still alive, they said, when he left, but we're speculating whether he would live.
Wow. See, these dudes are creating standoffs 6 hour. We saw buddy from what's Teckle Sunberg. We saw that one that we did on the live. And now this guy, I think this one was a 12-hour standoff. Why aren't they protesting for him? I mean, we got a lot of selective protesting coming out of Black Lives Matter.
And back out here on the scene, we're showing you the damage that was done to this home during that more than 14-hour standoff. And again, we learned this morning that the man involved in this incident did die following this standoff. We are waiting to learn more about this, and as more information comes in, we'll pass it along. For now, we are live in Hollywood. I'm Deborah Subarain, CBS 4 News.
Is investigating after a SWAT standoff ended in a deadly police shooting. The suspect had barricaded himself inside his home for hours before setting it on fire. Local 10's Alex Finney spoke with the man's sister and is live now in Hollywood with much more. Alex.
And so, Calvin, the family says that Matthew suffered from mental
Her mic came in a little hot.
illness, which is what led to what we saw here today right off of Dewey Street. This whole situation started yesterday and ended this morning. Police shooting that suspect.
My thing is, if the family is knowing about the mental illness, I mean, you can only do so much, but are we shocked? Are we surprised? What's going on here?
Someone is going to try to stop me, and I have a knife.
An emotional Candace Montague reading the messages from her brother, Matthew Hyde, while he was barricaded inside this Hollywood home.
And I'm going to kill the first person who tries to stop me.
The standoff started early Wednesday. SWAT teams with guns drawn pointed at the home off Dewey Street in Hollywood. Family tells me Matthew has been having a tough time for weeks. He suffers from mental illness.
Wow. So he said he was going to murk the first person that tried to stop him. And he does look like a sun glider. I don't know what's going on with the sun gliders, but they are acting a fool out here.
It was this week when he spiraled after his mother demanded he move out of the home.
And I said, no, what's going on, Matt? Let's talk about it. He said no and hung up on me. So I treated it like he was just being him.
Little did she know he would take it this far. In this now deleted social media post shared by Hyde's friend, you can see he posted his street address and that he is going to kill the first person to make it into the room he was in. According to his sister, Matthew was talking to family while he was inside the home, but at some point things took an even more dangerous turn when he allegedly set the house on fire.
And there you have it. I mean, he self-snitched. So I guess it's not really much to see here. Black Lives Matter really couldn't sink their claws into this one and make a story out of it. Nothing to see here. Even though they were wrong about the Andrew Tekel Sundberg situation.
According to authorities, at some point, he moved in aggressively toward BSO with a long pole, using it like a spear. A deputy then shot Matthew. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. And so again, we are coming to you live from Dewey Street in Hollywood. This is a residential community. You can imagine neighbors, they were watching all of this unfold. This is over 16 hours here.
And he said he was going to murk the first person that came in. Would y'all rather a psychiatrist try and mediate that situation? Maybe a violence interrupter? Would y'all rather have that happen, or, you know, the police go in and protect everybody around them?
That's how long this standoff lasted. Now, we know the FDLE, they are investigating that deputy-involved shooting. As for that suspect, again, he was pronounced dead at the hospital. We did speak with the family at length today, as well as the grandmother, who, despite everything, described her grandson as a really great man that sadly just suffered from some illnesses that just were not able to be fixed in time. For now, it's the very latest live in Hollywood. Alex Finney, Local 10 News.
Alex, thank you.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Right now at noon, a SWAT standoff today in Hollywood. That's where police say a man barricaded himself inside of a home.
And he apparently then set the house on fire. Local 10 News reporter Parker Branton is live on the scene.
And you have a reaction, I
She called to the left.
understand, from some neighbors at that scene as well, right, Parker?
Christy, good afternoon. That is correct. And we are also getting new information just into our newsroom. The Broward Sheriff's Office saying they were forced to shoot this man involved in this standoff after they say that he came at them with a spear. We now know that that man is dead, as investigators are inside this home where this all went down right now, taking a look.
He was like, I'm not coming out until y'all either take me or I take my own life.
A SWAT standoff in Hollywood involving a fire and conflict with police.
You're saying he threw something back at police?
Oh yeah, it looked like they said he was throwing homemade, Molotov cocktails out of liquor bottles and stuff.
Wow. Remember Frank James, that was the other dude in New York who, had created the concoctions. He told us how to create those Molotov cocktails in detail. Some whacked out people out here, man. And apparently, dude was a great guy, according to grandma. But obviously, she gonna say that. I mean, the way that I think that was his sister who was on the last report reacted, it kind of sounded like he was an asshole, because when he said what he said to her, she said, oh, that's how he is. Like she didn't take it seriously. So a guy who, if you're not taking that seriously from somebody, if that's normal or regular in their character, how good of a guy can they actually be?
The standoff starting early afternoon Wednesday. SWAT teams with guns drawn pointing at the Dewey Street home. A family friend identifies Matthew Hyde as the man involved. He says Hyde was upset with his mother, who also lives in the house.
I guess he got served some papers on Saturday or Sunday.
Those papers being referred to were served by his mother. The papers stated he needed to vacate the home.
So Ma Dukes kicked him out. He living with his mama, like in his mid-30s, and she was tired of it.
A family friend says they tried to talk him out of acting erratically, but were not successful. In this now deleted social media post shared by Hyde's friend, you can see he posts his street address and that he is going to kill the first person to make it into the room he was in. At some point, Hyde apparently setting the house on fire from the inside.
We heard the crackling of a fire. We also heard sniper gunshots. It sounded like a gunfight going out last night between 11 and 12.
Sky tent showing the burnt up remains. A shocking scene for people who live out here and who stood on the street for almost 16 hours, waiting for this all to come to an end.
This was something kind of unreal.
And right now, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement inside of this house gathering evidence they need for this investigation. I can tell you that I did call Matthew Hyde's mother to ask her if she had anything to say about the situation. She said that she had no comment. We're live in Hollywood. I'm Parker Branton, Local 10 News.
Also in the news now, a SWAT situation that went on for hours leads to a fiery standoff. A barricaded man sets the house on. This would all come to a deadly end. 7's Brandon Beyer is at that home in Hollywood now. Brandon.
And Craig, police tell us that they did everything possible to prevent that deadly ending. And we're getting a closer look now at what's left of this home after the man barricaded himself inside, refused to come out, and then lit it on fire.
Man, he burnt his mama crib down. Oh my Lord. I know she is 38 hot. I know she was tired of that boy. And this is how it is, guys. You have a lot of people in the community staying with their parents and, quite frankly, not trying to progress at all. Not because they can't get a job, because they're checking black on their applications. Oh no. It's because they don't want to work. That's all it is. They don't want to work. These super gremlins are on demon time.
The Broward Sheriff's Office forced to shoot and kill a man, the department says, when he charged deputies after a long standoff in Hollywood. It started Wednesday and went into Thursday, when investigators say the man tried to burn the home he'd locked himself in down.
This is a SWAT situation that turned into a house fire. This is a crime scene now.
7 Skyforce above the burned home on Dewey Street near 28th Avenue. He's been identified as 36-year-old Matthew Hyde, a friend telling 7 News he was peaceful.
That man would not harm anything.
What? Well, he obviously harmed his mama's home. I hope she has insurance on that. A lot of these mamas, if you know your son is a little off, y'all need to be taking out life insurance policies on these dudes, man, while they're young and before they start taking drugs and smoking cigarettes and all that. I'm dead. I'm serious. That's what needs to happen. The friend says he would have never hurt somebody. I mean, he burned his mama's house down. If you'll do it to your mama, you'll do it to anybody. That's how I'm thinking. Okay? He said he was going to murk the first person. And his friend trying to cap for him. I mean, this is crazy, y'all.
He says he noticed a threat posted on Hyde's Facebook and tried to help.
I know he had mental health issues and he's been struggling with suicide for years.
Investigators say Hyde was threatening himself and others. They worked for hours to talk to him before neighbors say things turned violent.
We saw a couple little fires break out, and all of a sudden we see them shooting water at the house.
We started throwing Molotov cocktails at them to get them off the property. We've been out here since, I don't know, it started about 10 o'clock this morning.
So again, started yesterday in the morning, went into Thursday morning, and the investigation continues, now being picked up by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Live in Hollywood this evening, Brandon Byer, 7.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And let's get into the video. Guys, so we got to break this video down. We have another police shooting, and I want to see what you guys think about it. We are going to be breaking down the Roderick Brooks situation, and if you guys are not familiar with the brother Roderick Brooks, it pretty much appears that he was a transient super gremlin. He you know, was out here doing these smash and grabs, out here hitting licks, out here doing all these things, you know, another George Floyd, if you will, in my opinion. But he was killed by the police after resisting arrest and fighting the police. And he was holding a taser as well. So, and this is what I'll say. The position that the police officer had him in, which I will show you guys, is a very dominant position. I think that he could have had more control, but technically on paper, this was definitely a justified shoot, and I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna show you why. But first, I want to give you guys an idea of what the community is thinking about this situation, okay? So let's get into what the family has to say about the untimely demise of their family member and maybe what they were doing while he was still alive to steer him away from this path, which you already know you can't really tell these niggas anything. So that's very hard in and of itself to steer some of these niggas away from this type of lifestyle. But anyways, let's get into it and we'll see what you guys think.
They do not trust. We've been told that this case is under investigation and that we are to trust the Harris County Sheriff's Department to investigate one of its own. That doesn't even make sense. If I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. You cannot trust a skunk to investigate its own funk.
So he is personifying the police officers as skunks, and the crimes that he thinks that they're committing, he is describing as funk. And this is one of them fast talking lawyers. Well, he talks pretty slow, but I'll say slick talking lawyers from the South. And he is representing the family, which I understand. I think they're going to get a bag from this just because the optics of the shooting were pretty wild. But like I said, you have the super gremlin resisting, you have grabbing the taser, and, you know, technically at the time the officer discharged his weapon, technically on paper, it was a justified shoot. Now, the way that I look at it, I think the officer could have, I think he had a little bit more control of the situation, maybe could have called backup, but you never know how he was feeling. Okay, obviously he's going to, I feared for my life defense, which is what we see. And I'm not here to say what's right or wrong. I'm here to say, how do you avoid these situations and the and how your actions lead up to you know, ultimately being killed by the police. So anyways, shout out to Product of Cook County. He says, let's start off the stream strong. Took a break from YouTube for a week. Stay safe, everyone, in or in suburbs surrounding these major cities. Be safe, and shout out to the chat.
Oh, say less.
Shout out to Product of Cook County. I'm glad that we have you back on or in these YouTube streets because this is going to be a very good topic.
And that is exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're trusting when we trust them to investigate themselves. You can't trust a leopard to investigate.
Sorry,
change
there you go.
his spots. So we do not accept the version of what happened that they're trying to shove down our throats.
And luckily, you don't have to accept the version that they're trying to shove down your throats. We actually have the video of the police shooting, which we will show, and I will let you guys be the judge.
Saying to the intelligent public, do not accept the version of what they have given us as it relates to how Roderick was murdered.
All right, so you see it there. The attorney is talking. I didn't see much emotion out of the family. It seems like they've kind of already made their peace with old Roderick's fate, because a lot of these family members, they withdraw. They withdraw themselves emotionally from that situation way before it bubbles up and turns into a Roderick Brooks situation. Okay. And it definitely, it doesn't necessarily remind me of the Rashard Brooks situation in Atlanta, other than them having similar names. But it looks like the family pretty much knew and had accepted the fate of old Roderick here. But I think I'm not going to say that they were happy that he was killed by the police, but I think that they understand the leverage that they have and the financial position that it's going to be for the fact that he passed away, because I'm sure he was avid drug user. I'm also sure that he was pretty much lost in the sauce. He was doing a lot of crimes, and they knew that he was living a bad life. And if he were to just overdose, then they wouldn't get anything, because obviously they don't have a life insurance policy on him. So getting killed by the police is pretty much becoming an active life insurance policy for many black men, whether you're in the right or wrong. So let's get into it.
Hey, Keith, that shooting happened exactly 2 weeks ago. An assistant chief within the sheriff's office said that the investigation remains in the early stages and says it could take up to a year before it's completed. This as the department releases body camera footage and the family lays Brooks to rest.
So say it with me, justice, justice for Roderick Brooks.
The family of Roderick Brooks said their final goodbyes to the youngest of 10.
Roderick Brooks' voice will continue to be heard through the community, through the family.
Harris County Sheriff's Office say Brooks was shot and killed after stealing and pushing a Dollar General manager on FM 1960. Newly released body camera footage shows the moments leading to the shooting.
Stop, dude, I'm gonna tase you, stop. Get on the ground.
The deputy chases Brooks briefly, tases him, and puts him on the ground. Authorities say Brooks got a hold of the taser.
I'm gonna shoot you, put that down.
All right, so y'all see he got a hold of the taser. And we're gonna show you guys the actual police footage. Also, we're streaming live on Rumble. I'm also going to put that link in the chat. Make sure you guys subscribe to my Rumble for more uncensored content. We need multiple platforms to stream off of, just in case YouTube takes us down.
I will shoot you. At one point, you can see Brooks holding the taser. Seconds later, he's shot.
So he's holding the taser. The cop is pretty much on his back. So he's not in a position to really turn around and point the taser. And that is a very difficult position to get out of, where a man is on your back and you're laid flat. But he wasn't resisting. He was resisting. He wasn't throwing the taser away. And then we're going to hear something very, very interesting. extremely interesting in the full body cam footage, but I'm not going to show you guys that yet unless they show it on the news tape, which I don't think that they will, because there's something that old Roderick said when that police officer threatened to shoot him. So let's get it.
Roderick did pick it up, but he did not aim it at him. He did not try to use it, and it was impossible for him to use in a deadly manner.
The family watched the video yesterday. His sister asking why.
Why does his sister look like a Muslim Jada Pinkett? Guys, is this not Jada Pinkett, y'all? Is this not Jada Pinkett?
He did not try to use it, and it was impossible for him to use in a deadly manner.
The family watched the video yesterday. His sister asking why.
He was a shoplifter. A shoplifter.
And I guarantee, and I don't have time to go into his specific criminal record, but I guarantee he was more than a shoplifter. As a matter of fact, should we go to Pacer, guys? Should we go to Pacer and look up his criminal record? Let's see. I'll keep playing the video, but I might see, you know, if we can find something on old Roderick, which I'm sure he has a rap sheet.
Right. He was not a bank robber. Right. He did not even, he was on his stomach.
Now, the sergeant is on administrative duty. The family attorney asking Sheriff Ed Gonzalez to fire that sergeant. That attorney tells me a lawsuit is imminent. Reporting live, Robon Belogan, KPRC 2 News.
All right, so you heard that. She said he wasn't a bank robber. He wasn't this. He wasn't that. That's fine. All right, so let's figure out what type of person he really was. Okay, and I want to look at these comments too. I want to look at these comments on what is this? First Look KPRC 2. Okay, let's look at these comments. Okay, so one of them says, it looks like the last time that anyone posted a bond for him prior to the new judiciary releasing him on multiple pretrial bonds was in 2008. So more than 30 arrests and convictions since anyone wanted to take the risk and sign their name for his release. And interesting. Wow, that's very interesting. Yes, it looks like they, Chancho here looked up his criminal record. Let's see if we can also find something on him. But I mean, it looks like he obviously had an extensive record. And the last time anybody in his family posted a bond for him was in 2008. She stated he only was shoplifting. The thief, was the one that started this incident in the first place. No one walks into a movie after it has started and understand the movie correctly. You have to see the beginning to understand how it all started. The thief was stealing. The thief ran from the sheriff. The thief resisted arrest. And also, which people aren't mentioning, the thief also hit a black woman in the store that he stole from. The thief disarmed the taser from the sheriff deputy. But wait, the thief's relatives state the deputy was in the wrong. This world is going against the good and making the evil be good. Murals and GoFundMe incoming. Stop resisting the police. Stupid. Got what he asked for. End of story. If the family can't understand and accept that, they are just in denial. You know, I tend to agree. I tend to agree with a lot of these commenters. This one says more crap from KPRC. Okay. I tend to agree with these commenters because this is the deal, guys. This is the deal. You cannot just go out here and think that you're just going to do whatever you want to do. You're going to do whatever you want to do and it's going to be all Gucci. Okay? That's not how things work. It just isn't. So let's see if we can find this brother's rap sheet. Let me see. Gotta look deep. It's a little confusing on Pacer because they don't switch some things up. But if I do find it, I will let you guys know. Maybe I could just find it on a Google search. Record Harris County, because you have to understand. And obviously, they are not going to put his information on the front page of Google, his arrest record. Oh man. Let's see. Let me go back because. All right. Boom. All right. Let me search. While I'm searching, I will share my screen and we'll get back into more of the story and what happened.
Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. The final moments of Roderick Brooks' life are hard to watch. A Harris County deputy shot and killed him after a very short police chase. Brooks was accused of stealing deodorant from a Dollar General store. I caught up with his family's attorney in New York City this weekend. He said there's no doubt Roderick Brooks was executed in cold blood.
Get on the ground right now. Justin, looking at that video, how did the family walk away feeling about the case?
Well, for one, they walked away feeling disgusted because when we sat and talked to the sheriff's office, they showed us a highly redacted video that was overly edited. It was only after we pleaded and demanded to see the raw footage, quote unquote raw footage, was when the family actually got a full understanding as to what happened to Roderick Brooks. There's still a lot of questions, but from what we saw in that raw, unedited footage, we saw that Roderick Brooks was executed in cold blood. So they walked away even more enraged than before because they obviously saw a visual of how their loved one died.
What's the next step for the family? Do they pursue this civilly, or you wait until the internal investigation is done first?
Well, we have no faith in an internal investigation, especially with how the sheriff's office presented the case to the family when we went to go visit with them. We believe that the sheriff's office is trying to sweep this under the rug, and they're trying to minimize what their officer did to Roderick Brooks. So what we're going to do right now is engage in our own civil rights investigation and investigate every single possible claim that the family may have. It's going to be full throttle.
How soon before an actual lawsuit is filed? Do you have a timetable for that as of yet?
Shout out to Cyrus Cherry with the $10 super trap. He says, I used to think the community was just ignorant of facts and just willfully ignorant. But then I remembered they have liberal media constantly validating their victim mentality. Liberal media is gospel.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And obviously, you don't have to be outside to understand that the liberal media is fueling a lot of these behaviors in the community and enabling them to continue to get pity for being in the wrong.
Well, you know, the statute of limitations is 2 years, but we want to file that as soon as we have everything we need to prosecute a civil rights claim. And we're not going to try and sit back and wait for anything that we don't need to wait for. So we're uncovering every rock right now. We're talking to every witness. We've already spoken to a number of witnesses. So right now we're just waiting to see what other claims may arise. Hopefully we can get some type of evidence of an internal affairs investigation to make our lawsuit more robust. But if not, I think we're ready to go soon.
Do you look at this case and say, here we go again, another black man shot and killed by police?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's really...
You know what I think? I say, here we go again, another black man resisting arrest. You committed robbery, theft, whatever you want to call it. You get caught, bro. It's over. It's over. It's over. Why are you resisting? Why are you doing all this extra stuff? He was trying to get away, and honestly, he was slow as hell. He had to be high.
Exasperating, and especially with how this case is starting to pan out. I mean, you see this particular officer chase down a black man who was accused of shoplifting deodorant from a Dollar General, a very small crime. But yet the result was
a very small crime, and they want these crimes to be enabled. They really do. They want these crimes to be enabled. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Something very dastardly and heinous. He murdered him. He shot him in the back of the head, execution style. So although this is similar to all of the other cases that we've seen, it's even worse because you understand the context is something that's very minute. At best, this guy should have been arrested easily. But instead, you had a cop that was out of...
You know what would have happened? He would have got arrested if he didn't resist. He would have just got arrested if he did the right thing and complied with the officers. He would have got arrested if he wouldn't have tried to run. He would have got arrested if he didn't assault that black woman in that store. So all of his actions led up to what we see today. Okay. All of his actions led up to what we see today. And, you know, it's just a shame that all these examples you have, these niggas just don't learn. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Control. And on top of that, with news that this cop had just recently put somebody in the ICU maybe 6 days prior, and the fact that 10 years ago he was indicted for killing somebody, you know, it smacks of organizational, you know, mishandling, negligence, and downright, you know, incompetence. And the fact that this could have been prevented, I mean, this cop should have been on administrative leave for putting someone in the ICU just days earlier. He never should have had the opportunity to murder Roderick Brooks.
Well, what my question is, what did that person do that he put in the ICU? Were they resisting as well? Just a question. Just a question. Okay. These are the things that aren't being asked. It's interesting to me that this, I mean, obviously, as a police officer, you're going to have violent interactions with these super gremlins, literally because they're not going to give up. And I'm going to show you guys now what is going on, and we're going to keep watching.
But then again, the sheriff's office failed to protect Roderick Brooks and the citizens of Harris County. And, you know, I think it just compounds the issue. We have these bad apples, but we have these agencies that enable them. And that's why this is completely, utterly insane.
Now, we're highlighting more important conversations like that one from this weekend's social.
All right. So we kind of got a grasp of what the community thinks of this. Let me just get this last video going. And this one, we're not going to spend too much time on it because I think it's pretty much open and shut case, in my opinion, especially on paper. But the video is a little jarring. The video is a little jarring, so I do want to advise you guys. But we're gonna break the whole thing down, and you know, sum it up real quick, and then we'll be done with this because it just goes to show that these dudes are never gonna learn. Continue to resist arrest. Continue to commit crimes, and don't think anything's gonna happen. At least surrender if you're gonna do something stupid like that. You stole some deodorant. He thought he was gonna have his way. You're not. You're not him, and you ain't like that. Okay. But a lot of these dudes think they slick, and you know, it's just making the quality of life everywhere they go even worse.
So tonight, the family of a man who was shot and killed by a Harris County Sheriff's Sergeant claims this body camera video was edited to make it seem like the shooting was justified. Roderick Brooks had been wanted for allegedly shoplifting, and investigators say he grabbed the sergeant's taser before he was killed. ABC 13's Courtney Carpenter is live near where this happened on FM 1960 near Kirkendall with more from Brooks' family. Courtney.
Well, Elisa, the body camera video shows the deputy catching up with Roderick Brooks here in this gas station parking lot. The family says the video released by the Harris County Sheriff's Office doesn't paint the full picture. They want transparency, and now they want the Department of Justice and DPS to get involved.
It's nothing but lies.
is a puzzle.
The family of Roderick Brooks is still mourning their loss, but they're frustrated too, saying the body camera video of the shooting released last Friday by the Harris County Sheriff's Office does not paint the full picture of what happened on the evening of July 8th.
They even edited even further because they saw that there was punching in there. We saw that with our own eyes where the assault took place on Roderick Brooks.
The Brooks family attorney says during a meeting with the sheriff's office last week, they saw 2 edited versions of the body camera footage, but what was released to the public was further edited. They claim to make it seem justified.
We asked, who authorized the tape to be changed? If it's evidence, why are we tampering with evidence? We need to see a clear picture of the bruises.
The sheriff's office says on the evening of July 8th, they were called by a Dollar General.
I mean, you're not going to see clear picture of the bruises of a, I mean, you might see the gash in the back of his head, but you're not going to see clear pictures of bruises from punching unless they're showing you the body. But we do have the footage, which has been released to the public, so we'll break that down as well.
General employee who says a man was shoplifting and hit her on the way out.
Come here, dude. Come here.
The body camera video shows HCSO Sergeant Garrett Harden running after 47-year-old Brooks using his stun gun, eventually getting Brooks on the ground. The video shows Brooks got a hold of the sergeant's stun gun. Sergeant Harden then says, "I'm going to shoot you, put that down," before one shot was fired into the back of Brooks' neck. We reached out to the sheriff's office about the family's claims. They said the video and the statement released on Friday does not represent a formalized verdict or opinion, as this investigation is ongoing and active. Today, the family's attorney says a lawsuit is coming soon and that she has made requests for the Department of Justice and DPS to also investigate.
And get the truth to the public so that Roderick may rest in peace.
Sergeant Harden remains on administrative duty. In North Harris County, Courtney Carpenter, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
All right, guys. So you kind of saw a little synopsis there as well. So you're getting more clues to this incident, and this is the final video I'm going to play before we actually break down the footage and the press release that the police gave. So let's watch.
ABC 13 has uncovered a new incident involving a Harris County deputy who pulled the trigger in a deadly shooting last week. Just a week before, that same deputy was involved in a questionable tasing incident. As a result, a man went off an overpass. Our Jessica Willie is live at the Harris County Sheriff's Office with more of her discovery. Hi, Jessica.
Now, law enforcement sources telling me that this sergeant was still under investigation for this tasing incident when the deadly shooting happened. Now he is on mandatory leave. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says he is committed to a transparent investigation. Tonight, we're hearing from the sergeant's attorney for the first time. The emotional reaction after a deadly shooting Friday night. A sergeant identified by the Harris County Sheriff's Office as Garrett Harden shooting and killing Roderick Brooks after officials say Brooks, a 47-year-old theft and assault suspect, gained control of his taser. Cell phone video showing Brooks lying on his stomach face down with Harden on top of him. ABC 13 is blurring Brooks' lifeless body.
We need justice, and we can't have justice without the truth.
Yesterday, an attorney and Brooks' family called for the release of the officer's body camera video. Tonight, his attorney responds.
Releasing a body camera video without the proper context is wrong, it's reckless, and it's dangerous. That's what it is.
And Justin Kiter wants the department to hold it. ABC 13 has learned the deadly shooting was just a week after a questionable tasing incident involving the same sergeant. Sources say that on July 1st, Harden was among officers who responded to an auto pedestrian accident.
So it looks like this officer has been trying to use his taser, and it's just not working on the super gremlins. The super gremlins are taser resistant. So I mean, they running him around the city, having to pull his taser and all this kind of stuff. He tired of bullshit, y'all. They are tired of y'all's bullshit, I'm telling you.
Accident on the North Freeway and FM 1960. A man who appeared to be under the influence was walking in the main lanes and even climbed on top of the barrier. Once he stepped off and away, sources say Hardin used his taser on him. The man went off the overpass, landing 3 stories below.
Damn. Sheesh. So Buddy was geeked up on the overpass, and it looks like he was on the edge and got tased. Let's watch. Hold on, let me run that back.
Under the influence was walking in the main lanes and even climbed on top of the barrier. Once he stepped off and away, sources say Hardin used his taser on him.
So he stepped off and away from the barrier and then was tased.
The man went off the overpass, landing 3 stories below, and was critically injured.
So how the fuck did he go off of the overpass if he just stepped off of the barrier? So to me, it sounds like he got tased and he jumped. Is that not what just happened? Is that not what just happened? It looks like he was acting a fool, high as hell, in the middle of the street, on the overpass, walking on the edge. Then the officer gets him down, maybe talks him down, and he doesn't want to get arrested, so you tase him. The guy gets tased, and he jumps over the overpass. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Department of Policy states deputies should avoid using a taser on someone who is on an elevated surface like a bridge, or someone who could fall and suffer serious injury to the head or other area. Hardin is a 20-year veteran and a supervisor. Kiter declined to comment on this incident. He says the body camera video will clear his client in the deadly shooting.
We have no doubt Sergeant Hardin was well within his rights and will be exonerated. What he did was necessary for his safety and that of others. I'll leave it at that.
Jessica Willie, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Wow. All right. So we got all the context. We got both sides. So now it is time for the moment that you've all been waiting for. The raw, the ugly, the police shooting of Roderick Brooks. All right, guys, and make sure that you hit that super trap, hit that PayPal, hit that Cash App. Also, check me out on BGZM News 17. Also, check me out on Rumble, Odyssey, Patreon, all that, guys. The links are in the description box below. Shout out to Truth Matters with the $5 super stick.
Oh, say less.
And let's get into it.
I'm Chief Mike Lee of the Harris County Sheriff's Office. This community briefing is intended to provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that happened at around 6:21 p.m. on Friday, July 8th, 2022 in the 15,500 block of Kirkendall Road in North Harris County. You're about to see relevant video footage and learn about other evidence and Sheriff's Office procedures related to the case so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based on what we know today. The Harris County Sheriff's Office conducts thorough use of force investigations, which often require investigators to interview multiple witnesses, review hours of video footage, and analyze other forensic evidence relevant to the case. We're still in the very early stages of this ongoing investigation, which can often take up to a year to complete. Our understanding of the incident may change as this additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. We also do not draw any conclusions about whether the deputy acted in accordance with our policies and the law until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution. The images and information you're about to see may be disturbing. When a deputy uses force, it can be graphic and difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language used by those shown in the video. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers. Security video recorded at 5:57 p.m. shows that a man entered a retail store in the 2000 block of FM 1960 West. The man then attempted to leave the store without paying for items he took from the store shelves. A female employee confronted the man at the exit door, and he continued out the door with the employee following behind. At 6:04 p.m., the Harris County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call from a female store employee.
And she was a black female, just, making sure that you guys know that the individual that called the police on this super gremlin was a sister. Okay? The same women who are screaming, defund the police. Very interesting.
The woman reported that a black man in a blue shirt, gray shorts, and a baseball cap had taken items from the store without paying, and that he had hit her.
And you assaulted me.
Harris County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
It's 2004 Cypress Creek Parkway. It's a Dollar General. Customer is running out the store, and he hit me on the way out.
The individual, is he white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black. He's wearing like a bluish shirt with gray shorts, and he's running wearing a cap.
And how long ago did he push you while leaving the store?
He pushed my arm out the way, and I hit the thing. So, not even 2 minutes ago. He's literally running.
So he pushed her arm out the way when she tried to stop him, and she hit the thing, which I guess the thing is the door. So he assaulted her. It was a light assault, but an assault nonetheless. And this is a sister. So she was hot. She called the police. She didn't care what happened to him. She said, I don't care what the slave catchers do to you, as long as you get caught.
I mean, to the back of the building.
Did you need EMS to check on you?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I just want him to get arrested because he's literally running through the back of the building right now.
Okay. Okay, and I'm just going to ask some procedure questions here. Anyone at the location have any weapons to your knowledge?
No, they don't.
Anyone under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No, it's a Dollar General. Nobody's under the influence.
You see the slight little attitude. We can already tell that the dispatcher is also a sister. So, I mean, this dynamic is very interesting, where you have a sister in distress after getting her store robbed. Then she calls another sister on the dispatcher, and they had a peaceful discussion, but you could sense the attitude. I ain't gonna lie. Like, when I was listening to this at first, I was like, is the dispatcher getting an attitude or vice versa? It sounds like they're getting an attitude.
Okay. Anyone have any type of mental health issues?
Who, me or him?
Anyone at the location?
Oh, I don't know. No, I mean, it's a business. I don't know who has mental issues.
See, that was shade. It's a business. I don't know who got mental issues. Why are you asking me this, bitch? You know what I mean? Just very interesting exchange.
For him.
Anyone at the location?
Oh, I don't know. No, I mean, it's a business. I don't know who has mental issues.
Are there any threats to the deputies when they arrive?
Huh?
Are there any threats to the deputies when they arrive?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay, you have any COVID symptoms right now?
No, ma'am. I'm good. No.
She asked her about COVID symptoms. I'm dead.
Nothing.
Let me confirm the address. I have 2004 FM 1960 Road West. Is this correct?
So you mean to tell me that if something goes down and a super gremlin is assaulting you or looking to harm you, they're going to ask you, does anybody in the building have the CV? Next, I guess they're going to be, does anybody in the building have monkeypox? Like, damn. This shit has gotten too far. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This shit has gotten way too far.
2004 Cypress Creek Parkway.
Yes, ma'am. I had the call put in. We're getting units out there to you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good one.
At 6:06 p.m., Sheriff's Office dispatchers.
So let the record be straight that it was a sister who called the police on this hard-working, down on his luck brother. Okay? It was a sister. It was a sister. I did a stream a while ago. It was a while ago. And it was called, Who Really Calls the Police? Who really calls the police on young black men? And I think that we all came to the conclusion that it was sisters. Yes, sisters who were actually calling the police on young black men. Okay. And for rightful reasons, rightfully so. Okay, rightfully so. I'm not gonna say they're in the wrong for calling the police on these super gremlins, because a lot of these sisters end up dead before they can even touch the phone. I remember that one story we did where the super gremlin killed or shot the woman's grandma, then killed her granddaughter, and the grandmother actually survived. And the woman was on the phone with the dispatcher, who was also a sister, and the sister dispatcher was taking her good sweet time. And she said, "Oh, he just shot my grandma. He just shot my grandma." And then the nigga came and got her up out of there. So this is a real thing. So I'm not mad that the sisters are calling the cops on these super gremlins, because there is a real threat, especially when you tell one of these niggas to leave. Now, I implore you guys to go back 3 months into my archives. Go back 3 months into my archives and check out this video. Who really calls the police on black men? Should black women be held accountable for black men's behavior? And obviously, I don't think that black women should be held accountable for black men's behavior unless it is their own child. In that case, we would say, sisters, come get your kids. Okay. But it raised a very valuable question that I think that we can all look at, and you know, you can go back on that stream and check it out. This was back in the day when I had like, I don't know, 1K, 2K subs, something like that. But very interesting stream. I made a whole bunch of different points and showed multiple examples of black men being killed by the police. And who was calling the cops? A sister. And I'm not saying that it was wrong that she did call the cops. I'm just saying that's who's calling the cops on these niggas. All right. So Cyrus Cherry sends a $10 super trap. He says, besides our obvious issues, why is it that we as people only can bond through trauma? Marriages, friends, even the civil rights movement. Do we as a people confuse trauma bonding with love?
Oh, say less.
Yeah, no, and that's a great point, because when you're making that point, is the only way that we can bond through trauma. You know, I've got to agree with you in multiple ways here. You know, a lot of these dudes, they will basically take away your black card if you're not from the hood. Okay, I know we have all heard this before. If you're not a street dude, if you're not a thug, if you ain't never been arrested or locked up or done anything bad in your life or robbed an old lady for a purse, you ain't really black, you ain't really street, you ain't really hood, you ain't a real nigga. Okay, so even that in and of itself is a trauma bond, if you will. And I don't like using the phrase trauma bond, because it's just like something that is frequently used by a lot of the mainstream, I would say, especially the women when they're talking about in the context of a relationship. But it is applicable to this situation and to what we see going on in the community.
Notified patrol deputies of the incident and a description of the suspect. At 6:06 p.m., a man called 911 to report the incident, stating that the suspect had knocked a woman down while stealing from the store. The man then watched the suspect, reporting his location to the call taker for several minutes before ending the call.
Harris County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
I'm on 1960 at Strict Front at the Dollar General. A man just ran out the store pushing the lady down. He loaded with all the detergent from the store.
Okay. Now we're getting to it. Now we're getting somewhere. The news, the lamestream media, KPRC, 2 News, ABC News, even Fox News. Okay, we had the brother running his own show at Fox News. The news said, oh, he only stole one deodorant. No. This nigga went into the store and grabbed all the deodorant. That must have been a smelly ass Negro. Okay, he went in there and grabbed all the deodorant. Let's run it back.
Emergency?
I'm on 1960 at Strict Front at the Dollar General. A man just ran out the store pushing the lady down. He loaded with all the detergent from the store.
So they're saying detergent. The lawyers are saying deodorant. But either way, he took all of it. He cleaned off the shelf. He said, he put his arm right there and said, all right. So I mean, the news is very misleading when they say, oh, he just took a deodorant. You know, everybody's entitled to cleanliness and hygiene. Why don't you want him to be hygienic? Because this nigga hasn't taken a shower in 30 days. And now he want to grab all the detergent and all the deodorant. No, fuck no. Hell no.
Okay, did he get into a vehicle or is he on foot?
No, he.
And you know what? I guarantee if he would have asked his sister or any of his other family members to go take a bath at their crib, they would say no. Who want to bet on it? Before he died, if he were to ask any of them to take a bath at his crib, take a shower at their crib, spend the night, no. And you know why? And I don't even blame them. I don't blame them at all, because these dudes do not want to do right. So you're not going to reward that bad behavior. I'm sure they've given him chance after chance after chance, and he's burned them. Probably been on some crackhead shit, stealing shit from their crib, you know, just doing them dirty, his own family. And that's why they cut ties with him, and ain't nobody posted his bail since 2008. But we're supposed to now on the back end, when his little his life of crime has come to an end abruptly, now we're supposed to feel sorry for this nigga. No, fuck no. Shout out to Rudy Bishop with the $20 super trap. He says, bruh, when you read the Buffalo Shooters Manifesto and the 2 rap artists indictment, that ship is real. I see you as governor in 5 years. Way to be.
Oh, say less.
Hey, I really appreciate that, brother. I really appreciate that. You know, we are a reading channel over here. We read, and we really read, and not only do we read as in you know, just going over these documents, but we read into them, okay? And we try and find the nuances to situations, whether good or bad, whether they support our line of thinking or not. Shout out to Battle Elf, always a strong supporter in the chat. Very funny guy too. Very funny comments. He says, with the $10 super trap, he says, how many millions spent on police, judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, probation officers, prison guards to secure the property of Dollar General?
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside.
Oh, yeah, you best believe it is a lot of money. And one of these days, guys, we are going to come on here and we're going to read that 94 crime bill. It's only like 394 pages or something like that. And a lot of that you don't even have to read. It's like formality. So I would say roughly probably like 320. So we're probably going to do like 2, 3, maybe even 4-part segment of that crime bill. But we're going to read it, guys. We're going to go through it, and we're going to collect the ideas that we like and throw out the ideas that we don't. And we are going to create our own crime bill. That's why you guys need to go join the Discord. You got to join the Discord. You got to join the Discord, guys, because we are going to create our own crime bill. And maybe I'll do like a Google Doc or something like that where everybody can just pitch in their ideas and whatnot. But Discord is where I want you guys to send me suggestions, maybe solutions, videos of other stories that, you know, you think would work well on my channel. Anything, but it's just an open conversation. So make sure you guys join the Discord. It is in the description box below.
He's in the alley behind the Dollar General, walking westbound towards Kirkendall. He's got all gray shirt, gray shorts, and a hat. Black male.
Black male? Okay.
Yeah, and he's I can stay on the phone with you if you get somebody out here quick. I'm not going to let him get away because he ran over. I'm just going to follow him from a distance because he pushed the lady out the door, and I don't think that that's right.
So the caller said, and this sounds like a brother, honestly. It's either a Hispanic man or a Hispanic man with really good English, or it's a brother. He said he pushed that lady down, and he don't think it's the right thing to do. So he gonna watch his behind until the cops pull up. So everybody in the community knew he was in the wrong. Everybody in the community did not want to see him get away. But these same people will be out there protesting. Let's watch.
No, I agree. And let's see here.
He's under some kind of influence. He's telling her, what do I got? You can clearly see he's got everything in his pants.
So he had it in his pants. I wonder if he was sagging with all that deodorant as well. I mean, you got to have some musty ass balls to run into a Dollar General, clear off the whole rack, throw the whole rack of deodorant in your pants, and then bust slack while running away. And then you run over a sister at that, which we're supposed to be protecting black women. Like, jeez.
So he's walking towards 1960 now. Back up to 1960. He was in the alley.
He's now walking in the up to 1960.
Yes, westbound still from Sugar Pines.
Okay. Okay, and does he have anything with him, like a cart or anything, or is he just...
No, he's got his stuff all in his shorts. You can tell. He can barely walk and he can barely run. The Dollar
Ha! You heard what he said. Barely walk, barely run.
General lady is running after him, but she's not going to...
Sound like he was sagging to me.
He's crossing 1960 now to the southbound side where there's a four-wheeler park place, and we're still in between Sugar Pines and Kirkendall.
Okay.
But he's in the west southbound parking lot.
Okay, sir. Well, I'll go ahead and let him know, and I really appreciate all your information. It's super helpful, and we've got him out here looking for him, okay?
Okay.
All right, sir. Y'all be safe.
The man then called back to 911 to report he had spotted the suspect again walking along FM 1960. The man repeated his previous statement that the suspect had knocked a woman to the ground. He told the...
Okay, so now, I mean, if he called again, you know, we have this no snitch policy in the community. And that's what kind of makes me think that it may not have been a brother who made that call. Now, we know that the sisters are, you know, fine and dandy with calling the police on these super gremlins. But for this guy, concerned citizen, we'll call him, to call twice about this super gremlin is telling. These super thieving gremlins are on demon time.
Call taker that the suspect also had a salt and pepper beard.
Harris County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
It's on Kirkendall, 1960. I just reported a guy that stole a bunch of stuff from Home Depot and knocked over the girl on the way out.
Oh, which one is it? Home Depot or the dollar store?
Okay, Kirkendall in 1960.
Yeah, but yes, he hid for a little bit. He's changed into a black shirt, and he's behind the Scottish Hotel on the big lot.
Hold on, one moment. And this is at...
You heard him. He said he changed, and now he's back in a black shirt.
Home Depot.
No, at the Dollar General.
Oh, Dollar General. Hold on.
Yeah, I just called in a while ago.
What address did you give when you called earlier?
Sugar Pines at 1960. He's walking southbound on 1960. I mean, he did it in front of my son, and he knocked the lady down there. So, I mean, obviously, he caught a lesson. He changed from a gray shirt to a black shirt, but he still got the gray shorts on. And he's wearing a cap backwards.
And how long ago did this happen?
This happened maybe 5 minutes ago. I've been trying to trail him down to just follow him from a distance. So to get him, but...
and so he's walking southbound on what street?
On Kirkendall.
Kirkendall.
On the east side.
Okay. Okay. I'll go ahead and notate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
At 6:19 p.m., a patrol sergeant notified dispatch that he had spotted the suspect and requested backup.
B for an assault, 2004 1960. 41 Sam 35. 41 Sam 35. Reference to the assault, reference 989. I believe I have eyes on the suspect. We're going to be in front of Vineyard Trace, 15414 Kirkendall.
The patrol sergeant in this incident has been employed by the sheriff's office for nearly 20 years. The suspect was later identified as Roderick Van Keith Brooks.
Roderick Van Keith Brooks. All right, there you go.
Age 47. Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies are issued body-worn video cameras for regular duty. They are worn at chest level and capture a general perspective within line of sight from that angle. The angle of the camera prohibits viewers from seeing everything the deputies saw and experienced. You are about to see video recorded from the body camera and the vehicle-mounted dash camera belonging to a sheriff's office patrol sergeant.
CN35, he's running. He's going to be westbound, Bamawood from Kirkendall. Westbound, Bamawood from Kirkendall. Come here, dude. Come here. Stop, dude. I'm going to tase you.
So as you can see, told him to stop, told him to come here. He's taken off with all the deodorant or detergent, whichever one it was, in his pants. Can't run very fast. Sagging. I mean, these dudes don't even think none of this out at all. Like at this point, bro, you got to stay in hiding.
Stop. Get on the ground. Get on the ground right now.
My man's pants were, I mean,
Get
check
on
out
the
where
ground
his
right
pants
now.
are at. How you going to run from the police when your pants are at your ass, bro? Look at this shit. It's crazy.
Bitch. Why you taking me, ho?
He said, why you tase me, ho?
Bitch.
Huh, bitch?
Get on me, man.
He said, please get off me, man. So he going crazy now. He tried to push his hands up. I mean, obviously, after that point, it's OV, bro.
Get on me, man. Fucking quit. I'm gonna shoot you. Put that down. I will fucking shoot you.
So he grabbed the taser. It's OV. It's OV. It's OV. The hell is wrong with these niggas, bruh? Now listen to what he says. He said, I will fucking shoot you. Now listen. It sounds like he said, you got me, officer. You got me, officer. Then he says, shoot me. Shoot me. Listen up.
I'm gonna shoot you. Put that down. I will fucking shoot you.
Oh, no. He said, get off me. He didn't say you got me. He said, shoot, bitch. Shoot. Shoot, ho. Run it back. I mean, he asked him to shoot. He asked him to shoot. Now, like I said, he's on his back, which is a good position to be in, but it looks like the suspect, old Roderick here, he was able to kind of buck him up a little bit when he pushed his hands to the ground. But he's saying, shoot me, ho. Shoot me, bitch.
Put that down. I will fucking shoot you.
So he says, shoot me, shoot, bitch, shoot, ho, shoot. I mean, talk about an epic last words, man. Epic last words. Shout out to Product of Cook County with the $4.99 super trap. He says, these motherfuckers are suicidal for real.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, this is suicide by cop. In my humble opinion, it's suicide by cop. I mean, these guys continue to put themselves in a position that is unfavorable to continuing their lives.
I will fucking shoot you.
Then he clapped him.
35 shots fired.
The officer, 35 shots were fired. Time by one purple dog, black male, blue shirt, gray shorts. Route 31.
So obviously he clapped him.
San 35, I'm in the gas station parking lot. Bamawood and Kirkendall. Suspects down. EDMS.
We have paused the video at 3 critical moments in order to give you a clear view of the sergeant's taser and firearm during this incident.
San 35, he's running.
Explosive shot for truck only 1055 on the ground. Need you in the road.
He's gonna be westbound Bamawood from Kirkendall.
Westbound Bamawood towards Kirkendall.
Come here, dude. Come here. Stop, dude. I'm gonna tase you. Stop. Get on the ground. Get on the ground right now. Bitch. Why you taking me, ho? Huh, bitch?
He said, why you tasing me, ho? Huh, bitch?
Get on me, man. Fucking down me, bitch. Fucking quit. I'm gonna shoot you. Put that down. I will fucking shoot you.
Hand on the taser. Freeze frame.
You gotta do. Get out me, ho. Get out me, ho.
Then he let it go. Then he says, shoot.
Shoot, shoot, ho. Shoot. Say 35 shots fired.
The officer, 1055 shots were fired. Time by one purple dog, black male, blue shirt, gray shorts. Route 31.
San 35, I'm in the gas station parking lot, Bamawood and Kirkendall. Suspects down. EDMS.
The sergeant's body camera and dash camera videos show that he exited his patrol car to pursue the man on foot.
Shout out to Battle F with the $5 super trap. He says, why did the cop place the taser next to the hobo's hand? Yeah, that was a mistake.
Oh, say less.
The sergeant ordered the suspect to stop and warned that he would use his taser on him if he refused. After a brief foot pursuit, the sergeant ordered the suspect to get on the ground. When he refused, the sergeant deployed his taser. The sergeant then tackled the suspect and a struggle ensued with both men on the ground. At one point during the struggle, the video shows that the sergeant lost possession of his taser and that the suspect appeared to gain control of the device. The sergeant told the suspect, "I'm going to shoot you, put that down." The taser can then be heard being activated while the sergeant and the suspect continue to struggle on the ground. The suspect can be seen removing his hand from the taser and then placing his hand on the taser a second time. The taser then disappears from view. At 6:21 p.m., the sergeant fired a single shot from his pistol, striking the suspect. The sergeant then used his radio to report the shooting and to request medical treatment for the suspect. You are now about to see video recorded by the camera mounted to the sergeant's patrol car dashboard.
And this is what I'll say about this situation. Me personally, I think he could have handled it differently. I definitely think he could have handled it differently. But like I said, on paper, it's a justified shoot on paper because he grabbed the taser. All right. And this is something that the community is not going to want to accept. And that's why the family are reacting in the way that they are, which I kind of get. If he was just like a guy who was doing the right thing, keeping it moving. But I'm pretty sure they already had written this guy off for a long time. Probably even forgot they had a damn brother. Probably even forgot, you know, the man's middle name, Van Keith. Right. So a lot of these guys, they're estranged from their families, and then the family ain't going to show up until it's an opportunity to get a check. Now, black men have to stop resisting arrest, okay? Because if we're under the assumption that, well, the cop's going to shoot you even if you make a little twitch, then why do you feel so bold and emboldened to resist arrest? Going and getting in a fight with the officer, trying to run and doing all this stuff. Bro, just put your hands behind your back and take the L. They was going to let you out the next day anyway. That's my thing. They was going to let him out the next day. I mean, he got 30 prior charges. You would think that he knows enough about the criminal justice system to know that he's probably going to come home.
The suspect, Mr. Roderick Van Keith Brooks, was pronounced deceased at 6:31 p.m. An investigation into this incident is being conducted by the Sheriff's Office Homicide Division, which will continue interviewing witnesses and gathering and analyzing evidence. A separate investigation into the incident is being conducted by the Harris County District Attorney's Office Civil Rights Division. Anyone with information relevant to this incident is urged to contact the Harris County Sheriff's Office at 713-221-6000. A complete autopsy to determine the exact cause and manner of Mr. Brooks' death was conducted by the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. All of the evidence gathered in these multiple investigations will be given to the District Attorney's Office for presentation to an independent grand jury. An additional investigation is being conducted by the Sheriff's Office Internal Affairs Division. The results of this administrative investigation will be presented to the Sheriff's Administrative Disciplinary Committee to determine whether the sergeant in this incident complied with applicable policies and procedures.
All right, guys. So you saw the video. I have posted the StreamYard link in the chat. What do you guys think about this one? What do you guys think about it? Was it justified? Did he get what he deserved? Was it unjustified, totally unjust, and just another example of black men being killed by the police, being hunted by the police in cold blood in the streets? Let me know what you guys think about it. Let's get into it. Rah, you're on.
Hey guys, what's good?
What's goody?
Right. I've watched your channel for over 8 months now, and you got a good point. We need a new crime bill. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
That's basically. I saw you drop the StreamYard, and I just picked it up with that in mind.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, and then we'll get into the shooting of Roderick Brooks. As far as a crime bill goes, what would be a suggestion that you would put forward? Especially if you want, you can definitely join the Discord. We are going to be putting together our own crime bill. After reading the 94 crime bill, we are going to see which parts we like, which parts we don't like, and find a happy medium that is very strict on violent crime. But what are some things that you would like to see in this crime bill, this imaginary hypothetical crime bill?
I think it should touch education institutions. There should be compliance orientation classes. There's got to be a discussion about neo-progressive, sensible neo-progressive policy control. And that's got to happen. Otherwise, it's a wrap. So you have got to also include, the education system in it. When it comes to enforcement, equal enforcement of all the laws, period. So when you feel an awful lot and you think, well, I think in broken English, therefore it makes sense, it doesn't cut it anymore. And a forcible reset needs to be imposed. That's basically it. And it can't just happen in America. It's got to be the West taking the West back, essentially.
Okay. I'm not opposed. And about this specific shooting, you think it was justified, unjustified? How do you think that officer should have handled this situation?
The officer was in a high liability situation. All of them are, because we're in the wrong time right now.
Yes.
And so criminality is in a dominant position. And so there's no taking off those glasses when you're looking at this through that lens. You just see people bumbling and fumbling because they can't just shoot from the hip, their next move. Otherwise they can't plan or strategize. And there's they got Sister Smoke ready to come down on them if they fuck up. And they're just going to show up, make it rain, and the wrong policies will be advanced. So
right.
There you go.
So justified, you think?
They would have perhaps behaved a lot better if they weren't under all that pressure.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah. Like I said, there's a few factors that people have to keep in mind. When you are fighting with another grown man, there's a few things that are going on. For one, there's a reason why this man grabbed all that deodorant and detergent. It's because he was dirty, very smelly, looks like a guy who lives on the streets. You got an officer here, run him down. He has a dominant position, I will say, but at the same time, it is very hard to handle another grown man. Okay. The guy's pushing up. He grabs a taser. He's saying, shoot me, as if he's trying to entice the officer into shooting him. Or like a guy saying, yeah, go ahead and shoot me is almost like I ain't giving up unless you shoot me. So he knew he was in it for a fight. And in my opinion, I think he understood that, yo, this dude ain't going down without a fight. And I don't know if I'll be able to hold him down in this position until backup arrives. Now, I know that he did call backup, but you never know when that's going to come. Some people in the chat are saying, oh, he should have got distance. He should have got up and created distance between the suspect and the officer. I mean, then he would have got away, or at least attempted to get away. I don't think he was very fast or athletic. So the chances of actually getting away was hard, but restraining him, I think, was an even harder deal. And, you know, although I don't like seeing these dudes go out in this way, you gotta talk about accountability. Again, that's what we have to go back to. You stealing, you run through a lady in the dollar store, you resist arrest, you get the results that you are, you get the results that ended up in your death. This is for a lot of these dudes. And also, I want to make a point that the media is saying, oh, he was unarmed. Once he picked up that taser, he becomes armed. So people have to understand that, and they have to see that, yo, you can't just say, oh, he was unarmed because he picked up the taser. Now he becomes armed. Now, could he have shot the taser in that position? Who knows? He could have shot the officer in the arm. He could have got him in the leg. He could have switched up. He could have rolled over, shot him in the face with the taser. Who knows? We got Mayo Monkey in the building. Mayo Monkey, what do you think about the situation? What's good? What's good?
It's clean, but the optics are bad.
Yes, I agree.
Because the other thing people don't understand is when the cops are fighting these people, the police have a specific set of rules and things they can do. The person they are fighting is not operating under those standards.
Correct. Like the police can't put him in a head. He can't put him in a headlock.
Yeah, they can't put him in a headlock.
Yep.
They can't use moves that could possibly break bones. This guy can use whatever he wants. Plus, this guy's not fighting in a vest. He's not fighting with 20 pounds of gear on his belt.
Facts.
You know, and a lot of people don't realize, because actually when you take things like the batons away from the police, you actually take tools of compliance away from them that force them to use tasers, which are horribly ineffective.
Right.
So by taking all the things you don't like away from police, it forces these events to happen because you take the tools away. Like,
they don't have any more tools of restraint.
Yeah. So they have a taser and then they have a gun, or they can walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And people really don't want to let these people walk away. Because you were talking about, was he stealing laundry soap?
It was there are conflicting reports. It's either deodorant or detergent.
My guess was probably laundry detergent, and because that sells very well on the illegal market.
Okay.
And locally, you can look. You'll notice most places have laundry detergent now under a lock and key in the cities.
Okay.
Because it's a highly stolen item because it's so expensive now.
Right. Yeah. My thing is, he should have been in jail already. You got 30 prior arrests. Come on. What is he outside for?
What we need to put a hard number on what is a career criminal.
Right.
Even under misdemeanors. Because number one, it never stays misdemeanors.
Facts.
You know, and the whole, and it was a shoplifting charge. He probably wouldn't even got taken in. He probably would have got a ticket.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're trading traffic tickets and minor, misdemeanor tickets for death certificates, and it makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, there's no thought process. Obviously, he was probably geeked up out of his mind. I definitely would like to see the autopsy, the toxicology report, all that, because I mean, even if he was in his right mind, I still think that he probably would have, acted in this way, just because we see a lot of black men acting in this way because they have been shown that it's okay. And if something does happen, your family's going to get a check.
And even if he is high, that doesn't matter. That is no bearing. It's not like the cop can sit there and give him a blood test.
Right.
This is happening now. And we have this wonderful seat from far away where we can stop and look at individual frames. Well, things don't happen in frames.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
These events roll out in seconds or minutes.
Yeah, a lot of people are judging this from the comfortability of their home. And what I'll say, a nigga who's been living on the street for 30 years is a grimy nigga. I'm going to just tell you that right now. He is grimy as fuck, stealing anything, fucking bitches with a sick dick, anything that you could think of, this dude is probably done. Geeked up, got bitches geeked up, did whatever. I mean, you never know. You never know, because that street life, that homeless life, and I'm not saying every homeless person is like that, but it's a different type of life. It's a different type of life.
And homeless for 30 years. He was homeless in the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, and he's had so many interactions with police. He knows how this is going to go. Yeah. He's not doing any time for this.
Exactly. I mean, just in the way that he was talking to the officer, you could tell he'd been through this before. It's just ridiculous at this point. And ultimately, I think this story isn't really going that viral from what I've seen. And I think for reasons why you can justifiably say that, I mean, he grabbed the taser, it's OV. I mean, on paper, it's a clean shoot.
And I think another problem is, where was this at? What city?
Harris County, Texas.
Texas. So okay. I want to know where this guy has been homeless, because if he's been homeless anywhere in California, this is not how it's going to go. in a lot of municipalities. The cops aren't even going to show up in a lot of places.
Right. Exactly.
And
He would have just walked out.
Yeah. And we know, we also know that that they're putting these guys on buses and shipping them to other states.
Yep.
When they finally do get tired of them. So I want to know where this guy's homeless, because he might have thought, oh, I'm just going to walk out. Why are the cops here?
Yeah, he could be a transplant, no doubt. He could be a transplant, no doubt. Shout out to Cyrus Cherry with the $20 super trap. He says, I disagree with the crime bill. It's a global mental health crisis that's leading to this hell on earth we live in. The other issue is the psychology world has been hijacked by politics, so it's hopeless for now.
Oh, say less.
Respectfully, brother, I respect the super trap, but I would have to highly disagree with you. I don't think that there are people in Thailand who are just, well, obviously you have that transformer thing going on, but just like suffering from mental health and acting out violently in the way that these super gremlins are.
And let's
I think
admit,
you can only replicate that behavior with super gremlin dominated areas.
And let's admit, what mental health actually means is drug abuse.
Yes.
Aw.
It's substance abuse.
It's
Yeah.
substance abuse. You know what? In
And-
California, it was Prop 47 in 2014,
Mhm.
and those transplants didn't just happen, with a homeless guy getting sent back on a Greyhound. It's everybody's got they've got a smartphone in their pocket and they're watching this shit go down on World Star, and
Right.
you're seeing the viral videos of people filling up baskets and not paying for shit across the country. So even though in 2014 you saw, the $1,000 or below, you don't interfere with robberies from Safeway and CVS and Walmart, Walgreens, but that shit started happening on the East Coast. Now there's innumerable viral videos of astonishing feats of filling up 2 or 3 fucking baskets, going out to cars that they fucking jacked, and filling them up and leaving.
Right.
Okay. And he's noticing that. He's noticing the police relax. If he's been around and doing shit like this for 30 years, he's always pushing on it. So he noticed. He noticed that it's post-summer Floyd, Blackstrandian spring, and this is the problem. So the problem needs to be rolled back. You probably need like 30 cities burning and shit, and then law comes down as hard as fucking law relaxed. And then when it comes to Thailand, I've been there, okay?
Mhm.
The police there, they carry a firearm. They walk around with M16s. They don't play.
At all.
If someone wants to fall back on I confused my meds and shit, it's cool, because what they do is they take the forensic evidence and they shove it into a pig farm. That's all. And we might need a little of that for a little reset. I mean, it's mostly peaceful, but it's a reset, honey.
Right.
And
And
no less than 30 fucking cities, and we're talking fucking cities. That's how it's got to go down.
Yeah, and
it actually needs to come back harder.
Oh yeah,
than it's let off. A lot harder than it's let off. Because just like back in the 80s, we need to do mandatory minimums again.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do hard labor.
Yeah.
And for the drug addicts, let's give them, if we can give 600 million or whatever to other countries every year, let's put that into drug treatment. But guess what? You get drug treatment, and I'm talking about residential staff psychologist facilities, one time.
Yeah.
One time. But the problem is, you're going to get an 80% recidivism rate.
Absolutely. Probably even higher than that when you involve the drugs. See, people are trying to paint it as a mental health issue, which I very much disagree with, because back in the day, the kids who rode the short bus, they were harmless. That's the reality of the situation. The short bus kids were ultimately harmless. So, and they were mentally ill. Okay. Shout out to Sho Sugino with the $50 super trap. I appreciate that. He says, I back channeled Facebook, sent you a 4:30 clip to play live. Then we discuss.
Oh, say less.
So I went to my Facebook and I don't see any. Okay, is this you? Let me see. Let me see if this is yours. Let me pull it up. Is it the? Oh no, this one is a 1 minute and 23 second clip. It's a 1 minute and 23 second clip. So I don't see where you sent me that. Maybe it's the NYC one. I'm not sure, but either way, we're gonna have to get up out of here, guys. I didn't want the stream to even go this long, but it's a very interesting topic, and I hope that we can revisit it. I will allow my guests to make one more final statement before we get up on out of here. So we'll let Rara go first. Rara, what do you have on the topic? What are your final words? Rara? Going once? Going twice?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was putting a message in the chat, in the back chat. What's my message? New crime bill or get fucked. Also, the left is ass cancer, and we have to do everything we can to bring them to heal. There you go. And you're worried about Transformers? Transformers have the schools, the law, family law in California can not listen to a subpoena from Idaho or Nevada if a spouse runs off with your kid to transform them in San Francisco. So this shit's intensifying. It might break up the union, but who cares? The West needs to be saved. Period. Full stop. Reason being, we bring the hot and cold running water and we show them how to do plumbing. It starts there and it gets better. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So,
and I saw your message in the back chat. The Discord is in the description box of the YouTube channel, BGZM News 17 or Black Gen Z Mindset.
Awesome.
So yeah, you can check it out there. I appreciate you coming and joining the stream and giving your input.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Mayo Monkey, last words.
Oh, we also have to look at what we're calling mental illness, because people would say Michael Jackson was mentally ill with the things he did, right? Or was Michael Jackson just living in a bubble where nobody ever told him no?
Yes.
To where every small thing he did was allowed. So he lived in this world where no matter whatever he felt like doing at the time was completely accepted. And that's going on with criminality right now.
Absolutely. I totally agree. All right. I appreciate you joining the stream, Mayo Monkey.
No problem.
See you next time.
Have a good night. Yep.
Yes, sir. So, guys, that will conclude the stream. I do have to go over some clerical issues with you guys before we leave the stream. Make sure that you guys go and check out the BGZM News 17 channel. This channel is all content in the community, from the community, by the community, uncensored, no commentary, just stories straight like that. All the stories that are coming out of the community, a brief or long form synopsis will be held for my channel at Black Gen Z Mindset. But as far as BGZM News 17, it's more short form content. So you already know what to do. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month so we can get this channel monetized, so that just in case they take out Black Gen Z, we can follow up with BGZM News 17 and pick up right where we left off. Shout out to Cyrus Cherry with the $5 super trap. He says mental illness does not always equal drug abuse.
Oh, say like
Okay. Respectfully, Cyrus Cherry, we definitely appreciate your input, and we will definitely take that into account when we are writing this crime bill in the Discord. But without further ado, well, actually, I do have one more thing that I want to run by you guys. Make sure you guys like the video, and make sure you guys go check out the merch store, okay? We have BGZM News 17 t-shirts for your behind. All right, so definitely check those out. Then we also have the BGZM News 17 shorts and the BGZM News 17 Pooh Shiesty mask. Okay, if you are rocking one of these BGZM News 17 Pooh Shiesty masks, I guarantee a super gremlin will think twice about running up on you, because he gonna be like, oh damn, this dude right here is on demon time, just like me. So I ain't even gonna try it. Even if you're a glider, guys, just make sure you go ahead and grab the BGZM News 17 Pooh Shiesty mask / neck gaiter and instantly feel protected, safe, and even covert. Okay, so that is pretty much all I have, guys. I appreciate everybody for joining the stream. It was a great stream. We definitely covered a lot. We definitely looked at the Roderick Brooks situation. Roderick Van Keith Brooks, the 47-year-old transient who was killed by Harris County police officers for stealing, shoplifting, and resisting arrest. Guys, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section. Put a 1 in the chat if you are going to comment immediately after the video. That really helps the algorithm. But I want to have an open discussion, want to have an open forum. And if you are being censored on the YouTube, in the YouTube comment section, just know that it wasn't me. I don't delete any comments or any suggestions or anything like that. Even if you are saying derogatory things about your boy Janquavius, I'm still not going to delete it, because I believe in free speech. And I believe that everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Now, if you want to have an even further discussion and also send me stories, make sure you guys hit the Discord link, which is in the link or in the description box below. We are trying to come up with solutions for these super gremlins on demon time. So you already know what it is, man. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you comment right after the video ends. Once the stream ends, I better see your comment down there so that I know you rocking with Janquavius. But without further ado, we are going to end the stream. I appreciate everybody. And we're going to give it to Janquavius to take us away. Peace and love. Stay safe.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa.
Yo, ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jaquavius
jump
Jackson,
on that
here
nigga,
live.
man.
Reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.